So let's see. Unlocking intent with data. How can we use event technology to make sure that when we try to make understand our audience better, we can make better prediction about them, either if it's an AI model that you're putting in place, or if it's a CRM system or marketing automation system, a human resource planning system. How can we understand more about our audience using the right event tech? Now, when we're looking at setting goals, sometimes if we look to sport, it's quite easy to define what is the goal. So if you're a pole vaulter, it's easy to know, if I want to break the world record, this is how high I have to jump, or how fast I have to run. How do I win a football match? Well, you score more goals than the opposition. Sometimes when we look at the success of an event, it's not as easy to define what is success. Having said that, increasingly we see that our clients, they're looking to data to define what is success. And what that success might look like, it of course differs with the type of events that you have, the use cases. They're so wide why our clients use us. And today I'm going to focus on one of these lead generation campaigns, and typically that is done, of course, to drive more revenue, better conversion rates. We want to deliver sales-ready leads to the outreach team, and we want to shorten the lead turnaround times. So let's take a look at event tech for lead generation campaigns. So a traditional campaign might look like this. It could be attending a trade show. It could be inviting the audience to a seminar. It could be an online event, an online webinar, or maybe just publishing a case study and ask people to give their name and details to download that. So you get a list of leads from activities like that. But it's hard maybe to segment that group of leads, right? So if we have the leads here inside of our rectangle, yes, you can see most of them are leads are not ready to be sold to yet. Maybe they're just in early stages. They're looking for information at this point. They're not quite there ready to be sold to. You do have some, the blue dots here, they're ready somewhere in the sales cycle. And then you have the gold dust, right? The people that want to buy right now. But if you give this campaign to your outreach team, they're going to hit that. And more likely than not, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to hit most of those yellow leads. They will feel that, hang on, and maybe some of you have heard this before, this campaign is not working, the leads are no good. Well, if that is your experience, you're hitting 3 or 4 or 5 yellow leads, you're going, oh, I'm not continuing, this is not a good campaign. Well, how can then event tech change that? Well, let's take first to look at sort of a virtual engagement. So if you have a virtual seminar, typically you're getting who registered, who came live, maybe how many minutes they watched, maybe they filled out the form. But that's kind of the data that you get. If we compare that to a virtual event using an immersive platform where people really engage, you see on the right how much your data you're getting. You're getting data about, did they participate in the treasure hunt? Did they click on the call to action button saying, I want someone to contact me right now? Did they engage with network activities? Did they go out and speak to others, or maybe speak to the expert that was there? So really a wealth of data you can get with the right event technology. And if we look at in-person events, typically in-person events, you get registration data, You know who came to the event through the check-in, if they pick up their badge or not, and maybe you send a survey. But if you use the right event tech, what can you get? Well, you get all that, of course. You're going to know who came to what session, how they rated each session. Did they send in questions? Did they before the event? Did they log in and set up some networking with other attendees? Um, and who went to each of the breakout rooms? Who came through to the different booths to find out more information? All that data you will get if you use the right event tag. But why is that data there? What's it good for? Well, that data, often you say that one of the fundamentals of a functioning AI model is data, right? You see the big Google and OpenAI and others, they're now fighting to feed these AI models because without data, they cannot accurately predict the outcomes, right? So that's the same is true for a marketing automation system or for a CRM system. You need a lot of data. And there is a study, it was nearly 10 years ago now, but they looked at the Facebook algorithm, and depending on how many other likes you fed into that algorithm, it could very easily beat your friends, your coworkers, or even a partner, your family, if it got to know things that you liked in the past. So this is something that you can really really use in your work to better and more accurately predict the outcomes. So with this, the rectangle can become a pyramid, and you can unlock the intent of these leads. We're back to our lead generation campaign. If you have this rich data with all the different data points about the leads, you can then also sort of see the true color of each lead, where you define the key data points that you know that will identify that gold dust, right? So with that, with the right data, you can segment that into a pyramid. Now, what will then happen? Well, your outreach team will start with the gold dust. And the feedback loop to them is that, wow, this is really a great list here, because I'm getting through to the right people. They want to hear from me. I'm getting good feedback on my message. So when the outreach team go to the sales ready leads, not the gold dust, but the others, they're going to perform better than what they would do on average, because of the feedback loop, the confidence that they now have in the campaign. And then the yellow leads, we're going to just nurture them and make sure that when they're ready, when they bubble up, then they can be engaged in an outreach campaign. So this is why we feel that with the right event tech, that can be a key part of meeting your goals, whatever they are, right? If that is an internal campaign where you want to communicate sort of the strategic direction of the company and making sure that people are aware of what that is, well, you're not just going to push the message out there, but with a virtual environment that has lots of engagement and ways to check if people have taken that and understood the message and deploy it, you're going to see that. And of course, for career fairs, as we will hear from later from Osman, you want to be able to fill those open positions with high quality candidates, right? So next time that you set your goals and you want to achieve them, make sure that in that mix you bring in the right event technology, because that will just help you to to get through so much more data, and with that data you can make better predictions. So with that, I'm going to open up for questions, and you have seen here on the on the screen, you can feedback questions to me. Let me know if you want to have a specific questions. I'm going to see here if I can open up the question element here, get through and see there's some questions coming in already. So give some specific examples from some of the use cases. Well, I'll start with lead generation since I've been on that track. So here we did a campaign with a computer manufacturer in Asia. We took our virtual event platform and we integrated that with their CRM system. So data on activity, not only who registered, but what they did inside of the virtual event, that was flowing automatically into the CRM system. The result was a lead turnaround time that went from 7 days from a normal activity that they had down to less than a day. So less than a day after a lead came into the virtual environment, attended some sessions, asked some questions, downloaded some resources, that was sitting with the right team inside of the CRM platform, and an outreach could begin. And those of us that are in the business of outreach, we know how important that lead turnaround time is so that you can get a good result on that. So I think that was a great way to see that. And in terms of internal comms, being able to something as mundane but still important maybe, but general training sessions with for your product and the solutions, and making sure that the teams that engage clients know the latest. Well, if we can bring in that data, that training data, who's taking what sessions into the HR system, you can start to compare that with the outcome on who's the best performing team, and you can start to make connections there and see, well, the teams that are performing well, they are the ones that are engaging with our content, they are taking our training sessions, they are really educating themselves to be able to tell the story the best way possible. They are the one that also then achieve their goals. Really important way to be able to tell that story in that way. So those are two sort of examples on the use case that we've talked about here. One for internal comms, one for lead gen. Another question here. Can I give a recommendation on something that would be my number one recommendation for organizations to do when it comes to event technology? I would say looking at integration of data and systems. So if you have a marketing automation platform, if you take again the lead generation, and we stay with that use case, you're running a lead campaign in that marketing automation system. You register people, make that registration automatically flow into your event tech platform, and then the activity from the event tech platform straight back into your CRM system, so that there is no waiting of manually uploading content. That can really make a difference. And I do see it with some of our clients. They have done that. And once they've done that integration, they're just getting so much the data in shorter turnaround cycles and more rich data into, if it's a marketing automation system, a CRM system, or even a HR system for the internal use case. So that would be my sort of one recommendation when it comes to data and unlocking intent. integrate the systems, and make that not the manual task to try to move data around. Another question here. If we can give an example of something that clients sometimes forget, but that can be very impactful, I would say set the expectations, what you want your audience to do. So if you want them to come in and watch a session and that's it, then make that clear to them. That is what you expect. If you want them to come in and engage with the other attendees, make sure you tell them that. Make sure that maybe there's a treasure hunt where you take them to the networking area, whether that's a physical event or whether that's a virtual event. Make them walk through the areas where you want them to be, and that way you and in your agenda, like what we did here, we put a coffee break. Make sure that you build in time for them to make that engagement if you want that to be a core part of your delivery. So that's sort of make that communicate that expectation through notifications, through how you build up your agenda, the communication in emails that goes out, and what your presenters say when they start their sessions. I think I'm just about at the end of my time. So thank you for engaging with me, and thank you for joining us for the first session here on unlocking intent with data to deliver success. Thank you very much, and on to the next session soon.